Alright, what's up people? Welcome back to the channel. I got another video here. We got a quick market watch. We're not going to go over too many things, just a couple of stuff that just kind of blown up. I'm going to start over here with the Sprite out from Power of the Elements. Pretty much everything else in the Sprite archetype is going down, but Alpha's staying up there. Looks like you got them right here, you know, 14, 15, 16. It's about like $16 to get one from these guys that have lower numbers, but once you start going up, it starts to hold at about a $17, $18 range. So it's about an $18 card. Pretty much, you need 2 or 3 of these if you're playing Sprite, and if you're not playing Sprite, then this is the best target for cherries. So, you know, just pretty much it has like 2 uses if you're playing Sprite or playing against it. So this card is starting to go up. It's $18.95, so almost $20 there. Another card that's going up from Power of the Elements is the Primeval Planet Perillino. It says 109 right here. Let's see what we got. It says there's 109, but as you can see, there's 400 copies. But you got a lot of people with 21 sales, 300 sales, 3,000, 5. Once you get to the second page, that's when you start seeing 90s ones. Oh no, on the second, is it the third page? Yeah, here you go, third page. There you go, see more people that have more no, not even the third one. No, I'm wrong. No, you just got people are just putting them up there. They're just throwing them up there. They're not really over here. It doesn't really matter. It's not like a couple people are putting them lower. There's a good amount of people that have them here at 81, 83, if you trust these ones, but I guess the medium price right here, $85, $90, about the medium price you're going to see from the people that have a couple more sales, a little less than this direct buy price of 110, but still, this card started, it was at 70, I think, when the set first became official. It was $70, and it just been slowly creeping up. Not everyone was saying it was going to go up, but there was a good amount of people that were saying this, so if you're trying to play the deck now, you should have just got it when it was new, to be honest, especially with the new support that's going to be coming out. So Exo Sister, they came and took care of business in some of the last couple events, made some big showings, and I guess it shows a bit in the more higher rarity end of these cards. You got the Martha, she's just been she's been going up, a little slightly coming down, but I think you were able to get her for about like 150, 170 about 2 weeks ago. Now she's like a solid 220, 228. But yeah, it's about it with that. You got this, the Starlight, Martha, and the collector's rares. These are holding up pretty good price. But like I said, if you're trying to play the deck, regular secret Marthas are about $12. Might be a little bit less. Here you have 12. Yeah, about $12, $12, $13 for the Marthas, which isn't bad. She's pretty good in the deck. You got the packs, $12, $13, $7 for the Sophia, $5 for the Machias. So yeah, it isn't like I don't want to. I'm not gonna sit there and say just go pick it up. It's super good. It's the best deck. But if you're willing to work, this will do better than other decks, especially if you pair it with the next card I'm about to talk about. Whoa, hold up, what's going on? I got my orders mixed up here. Let's just forget what I said. We'll talk about the next card later. We're gonna go right into dangers because I think it's gonna be this one. Is it? Yeah, it is. Alright, I'll just start with here. So Dimension Shifter, you pair it with Dimension Shifter. Screw it. It's all good as long as we get the info right. So Dimension Shifter, you're playing Exo Sister. You drop this Dimension Shifter, and this right here takes care of the tier element matchup pretty much 100%, and takes care of a good amount of the Splight matchup. Now, it doesn't fully shut down Splight. They are slow to combo off. They can make a board. They can make plays. But you take out the Toad. You take out, if they don't get any Sprite cards in the graveyard, they won't have anything to banish for the cost of Smasher. So this card does have some good uses against both of the top decks right now, and taking out the graveyard, Sword Soul, Branded, all those little small rogue decks you might see at locals. This is like a 1-card answer. It is getting reprinted. in the Megatin, and that Megatin price is looking pretty sweet, about 245 right now in the pre-sale. This could go lower. I don't wanna say that it's not gonna go lower currently. The secret rare still holding at $7. Yeah, $7.50, $8. So holding at 8. I wouldn't be surprised this drops about $4 to $5 with you being able to get the reprint for $1. Especially if it's still at 3. I don't think they're gonna hit it, but if this card is still at 3 and it's still needed, this is probably gonna be a $5 copy, while the other one will be $1. So well, I'm all mixed up here because I screwed up the order. But sorry about that, guys. So dangers. I want to talk about dangers real quick. So dangers have been spiking up. They're being used in a certain tournament builds, but also you have the Dark World hype. So you have the Dark World structure deck, which is going to come out to release the new Rainbow card or whatever it is. And I experimented a little bit with the dangers and the Dark Worlds. I forgot. I don't know why, but yeah, I did try to do a little bit of experimentation, and to an extent, they work very well. Like there are occasions where you just you just don't have the most optimal hand, and you end up just going through the whole you just go through the dangers, and like if you're like especially if you got a lot of graphics and your opponent doesn't have anything to really like interact with, then you're basically just trying to get certain monsters in the grave to make sure you could start bouncing stuff back and fully combo, which I mean isn't the hardest thing, but I think running the dangers would probably benefit maybe running in a going second variant, because this I guess similar to Sprite, to where it's like you have a lot of opportunities to just restart your combo or to plus off of certain things happening. So kind of like with Sprite, towards like as long as you have a monster on the board, you could just special summon more from your hand, or if as long as you could just get a 2 on the board, even if they stop your first play, just get a 2 and then you could special a 2 and continue like that. Kind of similar to here, to where you have a lot of ways to kind of just, I'll use this card to do this, you stop that, use this card to do this, and I can still get something moving. But there's also situations where you just start milling, well, not really milling, but you start discarding things, and it just turns into, I'm just gonna summon a bunch of good monsters, and you just get Dark Ruler like no more. So yeah, so it's really not, I guess, like it's a little bit hit or miss. Really gets killed while this is in the meta. While this is still in the meta, yeah, like running stuff like this is just just bam, just forget about it, because even though like maybe it doesn't kill it completely, you want to have the graveyard presence. So yeah, we'll just kill the graveyard presence. Now let's get back into the right order. I screwed that up. Trap Trick. Trap Trick has slowly been becoming like a $1 card across the board. You do still have this. You have the rare right here at 15. But you got that dollar. Yeah, they have a lot of copies of here, so you do have like $1 shipping. So I guess if you're just gonna get 3 of them, I guess they come out to about 30, 40 some cents a copy. But slowly but surely, I feel like this is gonna start becoming like a $1 card. Even the rare, it just came out, but I wouldn't be surprised if we slowly start seeing all these copies to be $1. Especially you got this gold rare version. You're gonna have the rare. Yeah, it's going for about 33 cents right now. But Trap Trick is a card that it's a card that players know how good and powerful it is, but it becomes significantly less powerful depending on the format. Even if you're in a format that uses a lot of traps, even though like sometimes people use even though sometimes it's like they're sitting there running infinite impermanence, and it's like you always want to see that card. You don't want to run Trap Trick, even though technically it could get you an extra copy. Yeah, so it depends on the deck, depends on the format, but there's so many situations to where this card, especially in the side deck, I've seen a lot of people where they run 6 traps, 2 of them being Trap Trick, and then another 2 copies of another trap card, and that kind of gives them the versatility to be more open. So it's to where it's like they don't have to pick and choose, like, oh, I'll run this card and hopefully I'll get it when I need it. They could run both cards and Trap Trick so that way they increase the odds of them having the exact card they need. So I do see a big use of this in the future meta. So yeah, I do see the other variants to where maybe they could hold on to a solid $1, especially these the more like the more hollow rare. The higher rarity version right here, we're going at $14. Yeah, $14.90. $13.99. Yeah, like 14, 15 bucks. Near mint unlimited. Light plate first edition. Looks like they're going. Yeah, so it looks like if you want a light plate first, about $18, $19. Near mint 2022, which doesn't surprise me. I really like this card. I do want to see. It's like I know that there's a collector's rare version, but we're gonna let that one. We're gonna like let it slide right now. I do have one. Maybe I'll talk about it later, but we're because like like we could look it up. Could be going for 50. 2 weeks from now, it's like 120 just because something changes. So we'll give it time before we look at it. But for now, these are all the more readily available ones. And like I said, if you just want to play it, there it is, cheap and easy. Another trap card I want to talk about is Magic Deflector. Oh boy. Magic Deflector. I had this card pegged a while ago as something really, really good. Like I read it and I was like, well, it's a one card answer to multiple different problems, which is something which is actually I really look for cards like that. In Yu-Gi-Oh, like I'm like one example, like when Ash Blossom first got announced, I was like, this card is gonna be good. It came out and it wasn't the best card, but I wasn't gonna falter. I'm like, no, this card is great. Told all my friends, told everyone that would listen, like, no, don't listen, that is not doing that good right now, but this card's gonna be great. Now at this point, almost no deck is made without Ash Blossom, and if you're not running Ash Blossom, you're running some you're just going completely different. If you're gonna run one hand trap, Ash Blossom is the one that you choose. So having one card being able to answer multiple different things is just like it's got to be up there with like drawing with like a card effect that draws you cards. It's one of the best effects in Yu-Gi-Oh, like something that's able to negate multiple different cards, like whether it be spell, trap, or monster, or one card that could take out different types. Oh man. Okay, so the next card that I want to talk about is Magical Musket. The Magical Musket cards, yeah, they're getting bought out. I'm not 100% sure. I personally love this deck. I remember like when I first started playing, when I first kind of like I put meta down for a while and first started picking up rogue strategies. This is one of the first ones that I kind of started gravitating to, because not a lot of people really knew exactly how to kill the deck. I mean, they knew if you negated the effects, you wouldn't be able to go off, but just there was just ways to play this deck that made a lot of people like unsure what exactly to do. And it seems like all the cards that haven't got a reprint are actually going up, which is pretty crazy. You got right here Nearman first dead for, what was that, $6, $7, $8 right here. Then it goes to 9, 9 to 11. Yeah, it's quickly going up. So once these four are gone right here, it's gonna be a $13 card. Which I remember when these first came out, they were at about $15 a copy. So yeah, these are about four cards away from being close to what they were when they first came out. If these cards spike again, Konami is definitely going to reprint this. It's just gonna be some like random reprint of some set we never heard about. Bam! It's just gonna come because this card, like they printed all the monsters. So you have these are not going up. This was just a super. This was supposed to be their double helix, but it never. Oh, sorry guys. It never measured up to its full potential, but still, it's actually a very good card, which I probably would wanna. Probably if you see these, start picking these up. Like, what are they going for? 123, 150 at $2. I would just start picking these up. They have one printing. They come from a Basil Legend. If this strategy becomes legit, and people actually have, people find like the exact way to play it, because I have my own little idea of how to play this deck, but there's you never know. There's a lot of people playing Yu-Gi-Oh, a lot of people can break it, and one of my favorite cards to play with this deck is World Legacy Awakening. This card was awesome. It's basically allowed you to link on your opponent's turn, so you basically had if you opened up with not the best hand, but you had this and at least one musket monster, then you basically open up with full combo. Like running this card gave you the opportunity to draw dead or draw multiple hand traps. As long as you had this or like, trap trick to get to this, so you could have your you could have your so you could go into max on your opponent's turn, especially where if you had your magical musket on the field, then you set trap trick behind that magical musket, then you activate trap trick, then you would activate effect to search for your magical musket card or get your magical musket effect because it's in the same column, and then you set the awakening to let you link off that magic musket to get another one. Yeah, there's ways to use this. There's ways to use this deck, and this card is one of my favorite ways to use it, especially because like a lot of people would get caught off guard. They would go into their little combo, and then you hit them with this, and then they look at you like, crap, I just gave you a entire board of monsters. I just gave you a whole hand. Yeah, so this card right here, it's only going for about 5 cents. The rare is not even going for that much, so it isn't something crazy. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if out of nowhere this right here, even in other strategies, this doesn't have to just be for the Magical Musketeer deck. This could be for many different strategies to where you never know. You just never know with cards like this, being able to do something like this on your opponent's turn. Like, maybe not for decks that use Hulk or something that have the ability to already summon on your opponent's turn, but a deck that would want to, that doesn't have the ability, bam, it's a good card. Now, the last thing I want to talk about real quick is the pre-sale prices for the Megatins. I don't know how I feel. Definitely don't know how I feel about this Pot of Prosperity. It's like $30 more. It's almost double the price of a tin. You got the Magician Girl. She's short print, which is fine. I don't mind that. And you got Lightning Storm, almost the price of a tin. Droplet, more than a tin. This was not what it was supposed to be. I'm not happy about this. I was hyped up thinking that we were, like, I heard there's going to be one. It's like, okay, cool. I mean, I was kind of hoping maybe you get like 2 of at least one of these in here, but it looks like no. People are just there. Some people are not seeing this, barely seeing any of these. The Lightning Storms, Droplets, Ash, they're all at 1. Yeah, this is just kind of sucky. You do have stuff like Designator, I guess, is still good. Nibiru, I mean, there's still a lot. There's still a lot of value in here. You got the Diviner or Herald, so there's still value. But it just sucks to hear there's not only short printings, but half printings, and half printing is just not cool. I wish Konami would just stop with, like, I understand you want to make your money, and I understand you need to make your money, but you're literally just you're just sacrificing the players. And at this point, I'm just gonna say the bitter truth that we're for the most part, a good amount of us are gonna pay the price no matter what. You feel me? And I think that's the part that sucks. Where to a lot of us are the point where we have the resources to pay whatever we need to, and we're adults. The most of us, a good amount of us are adults, or we're young adults, or we're older teens, to where we feel like we can use our extra money to do this, and Konami is just sitting here like, yeah, well, screw it, let's just get it. But at the same time, it's not 100% their fault. So that's discussion for a different channel. All right, guys, a little longer than I want to. Had a little trouble right there with my throat, but like I said, I've been going through the extra stuff. I got another video out, another top 10 list. Thanks for stopping by. There'll be more content coming soon. Peace out, and I'll catch you next time.